Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and we've returned back to the letter. Beginning the second day of this huge ordeal of this nightmare. But we're just gonna go over as to what we have chosen so far. So we go along this path, we've chosen I eat other things too. The other option I can't remember, but it probably was not to do with I eat other things too. Be brave and look up opposed to just keep staring down. This is still a bit of a mystery though. I'm going to come back to that at another time once I complete all the other 7 other chapters. Something that's best, I think. Just go through the game completely blind. We'll check with our supervisor. This one down here was a different option. Contrary to that, story updates. This one was not, so I don't know how that will be able to be changed. Story updates. Oh, just look at the questions. Common route, story update, common route, question, show letter to Rose, don't show letter to Rose, story update, change the subject. This one was about staying for a movie, this one was probably going home for the night. That skips right past that section right there. Meet with a priest or meet with the professor, I believe that was. But anyways, we're beginning day 2 here, and we got a few more questions, or it's only a few more locations where we only get given 2 choices, or maybe they're just story updates. Anyways, let's process onto this, and we see our lovely huge stack of noodles. Instant, probably. My eyes snap open. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders are aching from me having fallen asleep all hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxborn, or at least none I can recall having. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but the more pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone, the knowledge that I'll always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell my stories to. What time is it? It says 5 o'clock over there. Habit forces me to look over at the clock even with the snoreness weighing heavily on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day. In a heartbeat I'm up. Oh man, of all the times I was asleep, towel, where's my towel? Immediately it's a weekend, and as an unspoken rule, that entitles me to extra hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened, oh lord. 1 box of donuts as peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom, when a muffled ringing breaks out of my bag. There's a moment of indecision at first. My mind's conflicted whether I should ignore it or answer it. What if it's Rose? Or worse, a Bosch? In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood, and it takes every force of will of me to ignore it in the fever of answering the call. Mama. Hey, huh? It's around 4:45 PM in the Philippines right now. That's an unusual time for them to call. Usually it's around noontime and I'm the one calling, not for the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else at an international call. Regardless, the most cheerful tune I can gather. Hello? Hello, Grace. How are you? Mama, I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there? We're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school over a week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know. There's a tired lit in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there's something I could do for her, but from miles away like this, at least I'm able to is not make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that would ever happen. Odds are, don't know how to pronounce the name, Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again. I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and, well, Anne's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having run herself knee-deep in debt. Great, that's great. Tell him congratulations from me, and let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico, Karen, Michael? Hope they're okay. They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school. Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa, how's Papa doing? It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach. Oh, sorry. Papa, Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite. He's having trouble swallowing and lost a few pounds. But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well. The money you sent last time helps a lot to pay for it, by the way. Oh, I see. That's good. I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family, so I keep clicking past. I don't know why. But ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 5 years ago, he's been unable to provide for us. Now the burden of feeding 8 months and settling Papa's bills all rests on my shoulders. Although Mama makes a little accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighbourhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the costs of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our government because the health insurance there barely covers anything. I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'm able to speak to him, Mum? I think I got caught. I think the call got cut until... Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper. What? Why? Did something happen? Is it a deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number, I'll talk to them. No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good, even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it. Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine. Or me, for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale. Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. So, Mama, you taught me not to lie. Yet look what I'm doing. I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael and EJ's school tuition for the next semester too. Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us sooner. When are you coming home? EJ. The youngest used to be the sole person asking me that. How did you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later and I still can't give him a straight one. I'll smile though Mum can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is, no need to worry her down with unnecessary concerns. Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay? Of course. I'm so sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while. There's a small commentation on the other end, the sound of gates opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighbourhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much. It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright? On Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you. I love you too. Bye-bye. Journal. October the 22nd. Isabella received an unexpected call from her family back in the Philippines. An emotional moment. Her mother informed her of her father's deteriorating conditions despite treatments. Nonetheless, the young woman assured her and continued to work hard to be able to support all of them. All of them. It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away from my head. The thoughts begin to swim inside. It's pointless to mull over these things right now. It's okay, Isabel. Time to get that mansion sold. Unfortunately, before I could take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to say something. Mama, did you forget anything? Excuse you. I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? I just woke up, by the way. Hold on, never mind that. Get your stuff in the office. Hurry. Office? What about the open house? Oh no, is it Sir John? Did he hear about it yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, I'm going to get yelled at, aren't I? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra bottle of donuts if... No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then. Then there's telltale din of several feet shuffling against a wooden floor and an indistant yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. I can't read today. That isn't in any way comforting, but it's enough for me to hastily discard my phone to my bed and finish my shower in record time. I make it to the office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely dissevered and out of my breath. A feat if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine, whatever. Common to Briar Reality's Corporation's Luxembourg office greets me as soon as my feet crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals. Agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about, and... Where the hell is Estway? Where are my employees? What the actual hell, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice. My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, like the work of our HR management. Human Resources Management. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get hold of them, but to no avail. The result is, half their workload has been shifted to all available staff, so as to not lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work, if anything, it means I have more to send to my family back home. Although rumours of a branch closure circulating because of this, indeed, a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside. Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great. Sorry. One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork into my hand without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straightened. Reality Corporation. A purchase and sale agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb towards our visitor lounge where I tilt my head in question. There, seated on a sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing. They're buying it? We got a deal? She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although the eyes are alight with some akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do, and now that is here, the deal needs to be closed yet. Documents need to be signed still, but the illusion is there. Along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint. I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before we attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate. One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean? They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow that, they'll be paying up front too. Even with the urban legend? Rose nods. Oh, I was so sure we would lose the sale after yesterday. Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them. Please, I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing. Then we have better things to spend money on. I haggle it down to the lowest possible price, even if I were in that place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just the agents who are going to receive a hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction of me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having the boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood, much to the entire office's relief. Madam Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. Hello, you two. Her lips are twisted in a frown. She doesn't seem particularly happy to see me, and I'm not surprised. Who wouldn't be? I almost created a scene. Mr. Wright, however. Why, if it isn't the little Lily, I trust you're feeling well now. It's Isabella, sir, not Lily. I appreciate your concern. I'm feeling better now. I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand him their copy of the agreement. I believe I can take it, thank you very much. With how elegantly she plucks the paper off my hands, it's easy to think there isn't any trace of irritation in her. But it is there, radiating her stiff stance, in the way she's standing at a fair distance from her husband, and how the two look to be ignoring each other. Seeing this scene, it soon becomes clear to me that I'm not the only one who has put her in a bad mood. Did they fight? Most probably. I've seen it happen dozens of times with my previous clients. It's a shame, especially with their new mansion. I never did like when my own mama and papa fight. I hope they'll make up soon. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Madame Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath that we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture. That settles it then. Are you sure about this property, man? We could easily find you a bigger one along with the current listings, something with a modern touch? Something not haunted, perhaps. Rose shoots me a warning glance that says, don't make a scene, we're almost there. Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling? A helipad would still be a nice addition. Yeah, well, we'll get one eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have brought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it. Well, there are still a few necessary documents we need you to sign afterwards, but we'll let you know once we have those finalised. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am. Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You don't know how much thought you know how much thought should be put into those things. There are servants for that, darling. Story updated. Let's see. Branch. I still don't get what triggers the story update, though. That's just the problem. Hopefully these things will unfold eventually, but I don't know the other path. No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us. Excellent. Well, then I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget, she discreetly folds something into both of our hands and winks, a finger released to our lips, demanding our silence. What happened the day before was quite unfortunate, but you did get us what we wanted in the end. That, at the very least, is commendable. But this is... Madam, I can't accept this. Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for doing it well done. She smiles sweetly like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world. Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate if you hand her a copy of the floor plans as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact. Certainly, madam. We'll have it processed as soon as possible. I knew I could count on you lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed. Just like that, transition over and done with. My mind's still reeling after they left. Other agents would kill to have their clients like that. A part of me feels lucky about the fact. No lengthy negotiations, no sudden changes of mind. Just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part, a second ago, we sold a haunted property to two innocent clients. Sure, the commission is big, Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization. Big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from an instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the deal's been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing something's in there, and we gave it to a good couple despite that. Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money, Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell next time I come home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore. Well, there's something. So how does it feel? How does what feel? Your first big multi-million-pound sales, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable before. Oh yeah, I just realised that the notes are artistically designed to be pounds. That's excellent. Like, that's what I deal with every day, to be honest. You can guess which country I come from and live in. Memorable is an understatement, Rose. Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus too, aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you going to do with it? I don't know, send it home probably. All of it? Not everything, of course, most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses. Listen here, Isabel. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training. She slings an arm over my shoulder and leans in close to my ear as though she's about to share a big secret. It's okay to celebrate from time to time. I don't get it. It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself, throw a party, and treat your friends to free food, yeah. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at your home? Hello, this is practically a done deal. Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive? You're cool. I won't say no to an invitation. By the way, in case you really are planning to throw one, a few drinks would be nice too. Thank you very much. I don't think my apartment's big enough for that. You could always move. Bloody hell, you're working in real estate. I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well. You go do that. Hold on a sec. She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds. Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of a contact if... Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents regardless of how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very knack for it. Of course, I learnt, eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once through in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never press on the matter further, but perhaps it is where the sense of fondness started, a small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives. Of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're in. I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, madam. Alright, I'll be there, thank you. New client? Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all? Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why, no news from the HR yet? None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. I doubt it though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyways, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later. She throws a casual wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out of a much-needed break. Maybe the story updates diverge because of the choices we made earlier within the game. That's the only assumption I can make out of that. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one can consider taking an instant noodle cup of my pantry packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too. In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, can't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again. Right here today. Gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I usually frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time. I'm never saying no to free stuff. Hey. Quaint. A little old-fashioned. Though it looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Much like the small building's facade, the interior carries an antique charm to it. Vintage art pieces and a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would be nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and is engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Surely they talk when they meet, laugh at the same time when there's something funny, but there's distance. The kind born purely out of differing interests. That was Zach just simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows that means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I'm a little scared of her. Zach, Becca! Well, you seem to be in a bad mood today. What happened? I know that smile. Belly, come on, spill! Don't rush me, I'm still trying to find the proper words for this. Let's order food first, okay? A waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca would order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stoves. Stovies? Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages or potato in it. But today's a good day, great even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right? Today's special for the three of us. Even the person jotting our orders down looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it, nevertheless, and leaves without a comment. Becky furrows her brows in consternation. Her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose a strain of repentance. Don't worry, it's my treat. The glare Becca sends me reminds me of the one I got from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 summers ago. Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologise the next day. But Becca's far from being my mum. A small, sheepish grin is enough to dissolve that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Pan-roasted sea bass. What a lovely meal. We don't get fresh seafood that often because my dad hates it. With citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side, or at least that's what the daily special board says. No, I don't wish to do that. Never did pay any attention to whether I come here, since they price whatever is written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day. There we go. I'm just trying to. There we go. On a single day. Oh, good. I'm so hungry. I think I'm dying. You're always hungry. Hey, not all the time. Let me guess, you skipped breakfast again? Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today. Right then, so stop stalling, Isabel. What's this about? Let her say it, Rebecca. She won't be inviting us out if it ain't worth hearing out. Well, we're waiting. I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing. An expectant grin breaks out of my face, except... I'm sorry, say that again. And this is important because... Becca only raised an eyebrow at me while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, as if researching for someone to explain it. My instant noodle days are over. Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. This top one could be a lie for the future. This one... wouldn't that just decrease our friendship with Ash? Okay, let me do that again. Slightly improved our relationships with Becca and Zachary. Okay, let me do that again. Guess what, guys? I'm paying. I sold the house. And the news sinks in. The expression goes from sheer puzzlement to utter surprise. That's more like it. You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As today, I, Maria Isabel Grace Cruz Santos, am free from my instant noodle bingy. What? Seriously? Hold it, Belle. You sold the house? Yep. Which house is it? In the silent village? One for the open house yesterday? For one and only? Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that. Oh, wow. That's... wow. She lets out an audible hum. Although she's nodding, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did she think we wouldn't be able to settle it? Have some faith in me, Becca. Am I not your best friend or what? You don't believe me? The words tumble out of my mouth one after another before I could stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks of their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth. I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Becca. No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer. It happens from time to time. Yeah, but... Look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment, and now all of a sudden you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through, or, I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out? Isn't it a little too early to celebrate? Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it. They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour. Pressured me into that, more likely. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'll only fret. And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design. You're joking. Who would do that? The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property. She forgot to buy it. Anyway, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Madam Hannah also gave us something extra. Something as in it's why I can treat you two to a free meal. I'm more surprised you accepted it. She didn't really give us a choice in the matter, so don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That despite the legends too. I even tried to show them the letter, but nope, I want this house, darling. Go take all our money. You don't really think they'd believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them those are just rumours as well. No one is that superstitious in this day of age, Belly. Well, there's you. Right, you know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself. I'll begin to gather their plates to my side, but food is... okay. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way such expressions quickly goes bad. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I was about to pull her plate closer to me. I'm kidding. Don't go all potty on me again. In all seriousness, I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa. I'm sure he's going to be fine now, though. With the money, we don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with a new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time. I allow myself to fully smile, genuine and uninhabited. It's strange having to talk about this with other people, even those who have known you long enough. Sorry. I couldn't read it. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in enjoyable fashion. A laughter here, a playful jab there, most of it spent on catching up on others' new projects and whatever keeps us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something new in the sea bass we ate? Excuse me. Zach, though, appears less energetic today. While he's far from being the life of a party, he's definitely not the type to keep it quiet. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. If Becca notices, "Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?" "Huh? What? No, I'm okay." No worries, Rebecca. Doesn't sound okay to me. It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass. Is it about the reviews this morning? A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her inquiry as though the man's look is enough for an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late. You heard about those, huh? Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning. Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it. What reviews? Becca glances at Zach, her emotions unsure, eyes asking for her consent on the matter. For his consent on the matter, sorry. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her expression, explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a momentary shift on his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head. It's his movie. That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Rebecca. Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling you about this. At the end of the day, it's still your documentary. Is it something bad? Stop doing this, computer. Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much. Bad? Listen here, I won't trivialize what those ballheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs. From how her tone roses in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted. She's the one slighted and not Zach. A snicker escapes me when I promptly stamp down as soon as she sends me a hard look. This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bag just insulted him. Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews and it happens a lot. I don't know, kin, about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids TV show and worst 1.5 hours of my life amongst other things isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say. If you call that a critique, did we even watch the same film? Or maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped open my eyes to what I can and can't do. You're giving up? It wasn't a question. It was just something experimental I did in my free time. Anyway, it's no big deal. But you worked on it for months. It doesn't look like it matters for most people. Don't say that! My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinking against each other. I haven't even noticed when I've risen up from my seat. But here I am chest heavening, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher will at any unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I don't mean to yell, but there are some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He of all people should know. If you give up now, how do you know you won't make a name for yourself creating films in the future? It's just a review. Except they're probably well-known critics. Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca? An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining in this situation? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I've not read what those people wrote against his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know, after all. Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created is something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling for archery in me, except for those doodles I made in class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabel. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this. Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my turn as a flush of embarrassment blues across my face. It was a heat of a moment thing, and anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit? What exhibit? Classified information. Even I bring you your favorite tonight. Nope, not a chance. Oh, come on. I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets. A burst of laughter comes from Zach. Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself, just to think about things. How I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, better. Don't give me that face. There is no face at all. Only a poor imitation of a puppy dog's eyes, if you can call it that one. Please, will you stop doing that, computer? You promise? I'll be damned if I break any promise I made to you two guys. Excuse me. Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. Awards night ain't for another week, and that's not all. And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you walked. It's not like it's over for me though. I still got time. I can still come back, do my own thing, do what I really want to do. Surely once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside of my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon loo. The screen shows Rose. Hey Isabel, you at the office? Ha ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up. Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss to pick up. She states that as if it already explains everything. Then out of the blue she launches a long rant about the awful state of Luxburn streets, betraying her cheerful greeting. All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up and make out a single word. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next subject of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard. I'm stuck in a horrendous traffic right now, bloody stupid drivers. When she has finally ran out of things to complain about the start and stops, what she says next still has nothing of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick murmured plea for me to meet the right interior designer in her stead and anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks. I'll leave it to you. Classic Rose. She ends the call without even asking for my input. Shadow updated. Cool. A day after the open house, the Wrights were seen securing the mansion's purchase at Briar Reality's Luxburn office. Parties involved in the transaction were surprised at how fast it went, but agreed it was to be expected when dealing with influential people like the Wrights. Happy over the sale, Isabel Santos treated her friends to lunch. Isn't that all wonderful and glorious? Another save is necessary for this endeavour. Okay. The sky is cloudless and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we depart from the cafe. It's far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood to make them vulnerable or to catching something. Okay. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately. Not to mention my boss's mercular moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather though, the streets of Luxbourne remains constantly busy. The hurried tappings of shoes against the pavement and eyeing chatter coming from the lunchtime crowds fills the humid afternoon air. A small reminder of the things we've yet to do regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to Briar Realty for me, Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking a longing glance over something displayed on a shop window. Does she want to buy something? Maybe I can get it for her this Christmas. I turn my head at the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills. Hello there again, dear madam. She looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing, and borrowing into my very soul like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea, a hum low and indistant, compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass. Help me. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, each thump screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy while my own breathing strains in the face of her cause. Help me. Leave me alone. Her mouth is stretched in a grin, wide and unpleasant. The panic building up in my chest forces me to take an attentive step back. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from the gaping wounds on her arm or her nailless fingers. I don't want this. Not like this. Not after I got what I want for Papa. No, stop, leave me alone. Her face contorts in something twisted as she lets out a wail, sharp and utterly unforgiving. Rage. There's only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offence in itself. Please, I don't want this. Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat harassed from screams that I don't even notice already coming out of my own mouth. The back of my feet catches on a loose stone, sending me sprawling on the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze blurring my mind. For a little while my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision. A look of concern is on her face and her hands are gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against a small crowd of onlookers already forming around us. What happened? Bella, you okay? My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out, for words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. She's gone. Yet foreboding fear hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home at the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up. Anything. To get this wretched sensation out of my gut. You were screaming, having a fit. Zach, call someone. No, don't. I'm good. I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plan. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later. Careful, don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone. I attempt to smile to put her at ease, but it's slightly come off as a grimace. After a pleasant lunch with Zachary C. and Rebecca Galliers, Isabel Santos received an urgent phone call from Rose Cooper asking her to meet with the right interior design, left no choice to head back to a BRC bar on her way. On one of the shops she passed by, a familiar smile greeted her. Good. Gently I pushed her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can't stand. Leave me. Stay away, far from here, away. The humidity is shifting. Everyone stares at unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I want to be away from here. I break into a run. I wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. It's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company. The room is devoid to any other light source apart from the one streaming from the hallway and the windows. Even with the clutter I accumulated over the years, the room feels a whole lot bigger than it commonly is. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside, loud, so loud. If only there's a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gulp as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for... Enough. That's enough. A shiver passes over me, though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows are left wide open. My gaze shifts over the letter sitting on the coffee table. Its edges flutter incoherently as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or rip it to pieces is still there. I can easily do it, but after that, what? Will she leave me alone? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? This uncertainty gnaws at me. Knowing she's real and might go after the people I care about. I just wish someone would listen. Believe me. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. The phone rings. Blindly I fish the gadget out of a mess of cushions and papers beside me, where I carelessly thrown it earlier before taking a shower. Zach's name flashes brightly on the screen. If he called in because of this afternoon, to be frank, it's the last one I want to discuss though. I did leave the two of them without saying anything. Knowing Zach, I bet he's worried. Hey Zach. Oh good. I thought for sure you ain't gonna pick up. Sorry, it took me a while to find my phone. No worries. You game tomorrow? I paused. Don't recall making plans with Zach for the weekend. Did I forget something? Remember the guy I told you about back in the movies, the priest with a blessing? Does it ring a bell? Oh right, I did say that. But I didn't think he'd actually go through the trouble, especially after what happened with his film. Sometimes I forgot how cute Zach can be. Yeah, I remember. Is he fine with it? My friend doesn't mind. We're lucky he's not busy. So tomorrow he'll meet us at the mansion. Okay, sorry for the trouble, Zach. Hey, no problem. I'm the one who suggested it to begin with. And well, this afternoon you did surprise us. Never seen you scream like that. You scared the hell out of Rebecca. I guess I owe you a lot for this, huh? Nah, we're cool. You had us worried, but I know you'll tell us about it eventually. I just want to make sure you're doing well. You left all of a sudden and you're not answering any of our calls. He's trying to get me to talk. Normally, I'll tell him I'm fine. Assurances, empty or otherwise, to put their minds at ease. Now nothing will form. I can't bring myself to say anything. He seems to sense my hesitation because he immediately steers the subject to a different direction. Anyway, I gotta go. I left something on the stove before making this call. Just soup, but it'd be embarrassing if I burned soup. I doubt it. Ashton, on the other hand, remind me to tell you about what he did with a pressure cooker next time. Oh damn it, it's overflowing! We need to get going. Bye, Bella! He hangs up before I can thank him. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I am doubtful it'll work. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. This curse. Good. Zachary's study reminds Isabel Santos of the Ermengarde Mansion's blessing tomorrow. They will be covered by Father Norman, a well-known priest in the communities of Anglican and Christian communities. He is described to be a warm and approachable person, especially by the youths. Sleep comes easier tonight, and for the first time in a long time, I dream of clear skies, of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of small crumpled dwellings, and an unsightly woman who looks familiar. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this, to me, is home. October the 21st, 3rd Sunday. Story has been updated. Branching tree. Okay. We missed out quite a bit here. Ah, this goes on to a different path. Go back to that someday. We're not far away from completing. Well, yeah, that's a huge... Okay, that's a huge amount. What the hell did I do to skip all of this? Where? That probably leads to that path. That probably leads to that path. Oh my god, I missed out on a lot, didn't I? And now we're here. Story update. Those are story updates. So yeah, now I'm on this top one, and we're stuck with this one until this appears. And they all lead to the same event. Different assumptions. Story update. Imagine there would be a button that you can use to skip past a bunch of text. I remember one of those features in Steins Gate. There's a visual novel for that anime as well. Imagine if this would be an anime, it would be awesome. Morning dawn. Oh, yeah, let me just say first. There we go. I should have saved when we talked about the instant noodles. Damn it. I remember that being a choice. I forgot to save on that and move to the next phase. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends where I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it isn't for Zatch's call last night, I'll probably sleep in. When 9 AM rolls around, I'm already on my way to the Ermengarde Mansion. To think I have to go back again, I would be lying if I'm saying excited at the prospect of entering the place once more. I don't have to anymore. Rose happily gave me paperwork duty when I volunteered. We're in the last phase of the sale too. Well, almost. Papers to sign, documents to finalise, various other legalities to settle with the current owner, and all that still. Never mind that its new owners want everything done within a week, when the process typically takes more than that. If they want it done, we'll get it done. I really don't understand rich people, but money can do wonders. I won't be surprised if they'll be able to push the process just a little more, like what they did to secure the house. The point is, I'm under no obligation to return to the house anymore. Running is an option, of course. I can now move to another property and forget everything. However, at the end of the day, it's always my conscience that wins. What if something happens to those who have seen the letter? Ash, Zach, Becca, Miss Covray, the Rice. Yeah, that's 7 people in total. The guilt will follow me to my grave. The mansion looms as we approach. Whispers welcoming back, shadows calling. I hope this is the last time. And here they both are. They are engaged in a quiet conversation when I find them in the mansion's front gardens. There is relief in familiar company, and knowing I won't be alone to go back inside of my city for my silly idea. No. But it's impossible to feel at ease here, even with the delicately pruned gardens awaiting spring's arrival on all the beautiful winding pathways. Like the very place itself is aware of its trespassers. Zach, on the other hand, doesn't seem to notice, or he simply doesn't care, or he's already used to it. I can never tell with him. With all his gentle smiles and Emir air, he's almost as hard to read as Ash. Almost. At least Ash doesn't ask for as much patience as dealing with Ash does, and that says plenty about him. Okay, sorry about that. Wonder of wonders how the two end up with best of friends. He waves at me as I approach. True to his promise, Zach has also brought his friend with him. Father Norman. Somehow I expected him to look older. Oh, don't be surprised. They say people who have found their calling are getting younger these days. Sorry, Father, I didn't mean to say that out loud. No offense taken. Though I admit, I'm a bit surprised I didn't think someone would ask this home to be blessed after all these years. You've heard of it, Father? In passing. The occasional rumour and talk by the locals, nothing new, but still interesting to the curious. You don't spend years serving the church here without hearing a random heresy here and there. You never mentioned what you thought of those, Father. But he who goes down to the grave does not come up. He shall never return to his house, nor shall his place know him any more. But what I saw maybe not be what you think it is. It depends entirely on what you mean by it. If you're talking about spirit beings, angels, demons, then yes. Are we talking about the spirits of people who have departed? The word makes it clear that once the deceased has left us, they are gone. Not the one that dwells in this mansion or the one that casts the curse. They have not yet gone to the other side. But of course, I didn't come here to bore you with a lecture. No, it was enlightening, Father. To say the least, thank you. Just remember that a God who loves his children would never let them linger once the time comes. That's what my papa often tells me. Your father must be a good man. He raised you well, no doubt. Well then, shall we? Regardless of what it is, I'm sure the mansion's new owners would appreciate such sincere intentions. From a stranger, no less. He lets Zach and I walk ahead. A relief this way. He won't see how tightly I'm clutching to the straps of my bag. Father Norman's probably trying to put me at ease, but the worry, the cold, restless, foreboding feeling has firmly lodged itself in my stomach, making its presence known with every step towards the house. Hey, you okay? Yeah, this place gives me the creeps. What the heck of it? Let's see. Well, this is a different point. There's probably going to be at least 3 of these. Branching tree. Question. Well, at least about. Both options always go to the same destination. Yeah, this place gives me the creeps. It's hard not to lie to Zach when he gives you that look. Yep, and it's improved yet again. Zachary is probably our true friend here. It's just there. The kind that implores, a silent appeal. I'm not sure if he's even doing it consciously. Another breeze blows and I try not to shiver, try not to listen to the voices that may or may not be there. This place really gives me the creeps. It doesn't seem more than an ordinary house to me though. Damn, I should have brought my camera with me. I saw a few areas that'd be good for a shoot. Do you think the new owners will allow it? Sheesh, what if you catch something? Or someone in one of those pictures? It just means they want to be seen, doesn't it? Don't ask for it. It's not like we can stop them if they do. You're really not helping, Zach. Alright, sorry. Don't worry. I don't think whatever's inside the house will do anything. I'm here, yeah? I'll take care of them. Or I think I can. You're not that scary, but thanks. I'll be sure to run behind you if I see one. Ridiculous talk through the temporary with private lens is more welcome. He offers me a smile in return, the least he can do. And with a slight motion of his head, he gestures for us to move ahead, while my own fears are left forgotten for the time being. The things inside my bag clatter softly against each other while I rustle for the keys to the mansion. I should have heard the telltale jiggle by now, but didn't I put it in my bag last night? Seconds later, I'm sitting on my heels one after another and taking everything out from every book I ever slip. It'll be a pain to put everything back later, but I'm sure it's just underneath these. Nothing. Oh man, all the times to forget. Is something the matter? No, I'm sorry, Father. I think I left the key. No use coming up with an excuse right after they both taken the time to go this far from the city. With a heavy sigh of relief, I grab the door handle. I pull myself, a string of apologies ready at the tip of my tongue. Be careful, Bella. We've spoken with the current owners. Well, technically, you're not the owners yet, but there's a brief moment of confusion and then I'm falling. The momentum of the door swing open pulls me back first into the mansion's foyer before I can make sense of what's happening. Oh, my back. What the? Isabella? No time to nurse my bruised back or make up excuses, because the next thing I know, Zach's gently pulling me upright by my arm. Rose looks down at me with a mixture of relief and apprehension. Ah, sheesh. Good going, Isabella. Right after you volunteered to work on the papers. As standing before her, Madam Hannah, Mr. Ryan. Oh, Isabella. We always meet in the most interesting circumstances. A complete understatement, darling. What are they doing in my house? He waves his hand towards Zach and Father Norman like their presence is a blasphemy against his own. I thought you said you wanted to do the paperwork duty today. What are you doing here? Like a deer caught in the headlights. Unfair, Rose. That's putting me on the spot. Seeing their expectant looks leaves me no choice but to answer. The reason why I'm here. Well, spit it out, Lily. We don't have all day. I'm just here to make sure everything is fine before you move in. I'm so sorry, ma'am. You said I'll go to hell if I lie. I likely will after this, but there's no other way. Well, it isn't entirely a lie. I am here to make sure no one disturbs them after they move in. It just so happens that what I am checking for and trying to drive away is of the paranoia variety. Oh, the house appears impeccably fine to me. The grin on his face, though, when he returns his attention back to me, is similar to what my Koya Jordan has often given me when he's up to something. Usually a scare prank that inevitably ends in me crying. I never did forget the way my brother sneers at me. A part of me thinks that perhaps if I hadn't been the object of this mischievous child, I would have grown a little braver. Come on, little Lily. Lying doesn't do that cute little face any justice. I'm a very patient man. Now, why are you here? Right now, in the face of an almost identical expression, perhaps even crueler than what I'm used to, the liar told falls apart. The truth is, I was just thinking we could have a house blessed before move-in day. And why would we ever need to have this house blessed? For luck and protection. I shrink under his scrutinizing gaze. For a second I thought he'll start shouting at me. Instead he laughs. Not the mocking, jeering kind, but one wondering if he's hearing things right. I'll say he's amused, but I honestly can't understand what's so funny with what I just said. Is it really that weird? Isn't it a custom here? I wish Becca's here to explain stuff like this. That's rich coming from you. When we sold Deviant Court, you didn't. It's a small custom back home. I thought it'd be nice to do something that would bring positive energy to the mansion, since this place has been empty for years. And the papers, Isabel? I hope you did bring those. I hope you did those before this. Of course, I did. It's almost done. In fact, but there are some items I still have to double check before finalising everything. You know I don't sign without a thorough inspection. And well, this is what this is for, too. I thought I'd just be more efficient to do both at the same time. Here I thought you didn't want to come back. A job is a job, Rose. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living. Oh, well in that case, then go ahead. No need to be so hard on her, Rosie. I personally think it's a nice touch. I was actually thinking of the same thing, but you beat me to it. Darling, Buttercup, please, you know these things don't work. No offence meant to the holy man, of course. That does not explain the... I'm not going to try and pronounce that in case if I... Oh man, give it a rest, love. Do you have a better idea? Yeah, that's... I'm not going to say that word. You know his positive energy might have given us what we've been waiting for. Or some peace. Let them do their job. What have we been waiting for? I don't think I was ever informed of. Nothing you should worry about right now. Anyway, we still got a few things we need to discuss with Rosary here or over lunch. I hope you don't mind, Isabella. We'd love to take you with us, but... Oh, no. Go ahead, madam. This will take time. That's why there's two of us working on this. Rose looks like she's about to murder someone. Probably me. At least she won't be left to deal with a haunted property. She got the better end, if anyone's going to ask me. Oh, wonderful. I hope the next time the three of us meet, it'll be over a closed deal. Of course, ma'am. Please look forward to it. Rose hurriedly hands me the keys to the house before leaving, mouthing reminders to secure the place and harmless threats for throwing her under the bus. I return it with a reassuring smile of my own, even if she's one who's often forgotten. Sheesh. And like that, gone. Just as quick as they appeared, leaving me wondering if this is simply what's typical for the rich and famous, fleeting from one scene to the next without a care. If so, I'd rather stay with my run-down apartment than our little shack back home. There is still joy in not missing the smallest things after all. Good. May this house be blessed. Indeed. With a house this big, it's not surprising when the ceremony takes a few hours to finish. The sun's already high in the sky by the time we got through the last room. I can never say I'm a devout follower of my own faith, even with Mama and Papa's teachings. But hearing every passage, every word Father Norman uttered as we went around the house had set a lull in me, soothing, comforting. All of a sudden, the mansion doesn't seem so scary anymore. Maybe there is an end to this, or perhaps this is the end. Father Norman bids us goodbye. He has business in a nearby village. He says a minute gesture to reach out for the members of their parish every once in a while. It reminds me of a distant memory of helping hands and a few kind smiles, what pulled my family through when times are tough. But before he leaves, Isabel, a word before I go. Zachary hasn't been really forthcoming with your situation, as it is something I understand it wasn't his to share. But whatever burdens you, know that it's not a permanent fixture in your life, from which you'll come out stronger. Besides you have people to bear it with. I bite back the harsh retorts before they come out, masking it with a smile as we wave the good priest off. His words, though meant to comfort, has only left something hollow in me and a bitter taste in my mouth. As if they don't believe you, what am I to do? A tentative hand lands briefly on my shoulders, taking me out my thoughts before they take a sullen turn. But my smile doesn't quite reach my ears when I turn to him. Say, do you want to go somewhere? Right now, where to? Anywhere in the city. I'll leave it up to you. Yeah, let's hang out with Zach. It wouldn't hurt. I've got some stuff I need to buy. Groceries. Hee. Zachary's relationship is our relationship with Zach is definitely up. It wouldn't hurt. I've got some stuff I need to buy. Groceries. And there's a shop I want to check. Is it really food this time? Let me guess, Rebecca. She's just worried about you. Even I can't eat that much instant noodles. Think of it as a talent. Let's just go, Zach. I smile, real one this time, devoid of any unpleasant thoughts, regardless of what happened. I don't want to think of them that way. Ah, it's a park. Zach has me waited on a nearby bench upon arriving prior to going off somewhere. He hasn't returned since, and it's been a good 20 minutes of being left alone entirely to my thoughts. In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. Where children are usually seen running around and playing, there are now people leaning back on the their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. The smell of food drifts from nearby food carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one will catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. I gladly sleep on this bench if I'm not waiting for anyone. Soon enough, I see his hulking figure running towards me, carrying a medium-sized box on one hand and casually waving the other with me. He's panting when he reaches my bench, sweat dripping profusely from his forehead, but there's a grin on his face. Sorry, the line was really long. Really long. You didn't have to run, sit down first. Nah, I'm good. Didn't want to make you wait for these. I already know what's in the blue box before he opens it. Donuts! Oh, cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls. All 6 of them topped with a white cream cheese glaze. Isn't that so cute? The very same one I bought after I sold my first property. After I met Zach, Ash and Becca. Funny how such a small thing can trigger a distant memory, no matter how mundane it is. I don't say no to free food, but why is he getting me these now? What for? He leans on the empty space beside me, wiping the sweat of his forehead before answering. An apology, and a thanks, for yesterday and the other day. You don't have to buy me anything, Zach. You were upset. You haven't been yourself recently, and people kind of miss that, you know. Are you just saying that, or... No, really. Rebecca told me. You know how she is. Ashton, too. Ashton was an ass. He should have been named Ashhole instead. He went a little overboard, yeah, I can talk to him if he wants. He'll still tease me about it, even if Rebecca telling him to stop. Besides, I can handle him. You always do. And yesterday when you talked to me through my little slump, I thought, hey, I want our old Isabella back. Are you still upset? Probably. When was it? When did it suddenly turn? Is this the following day? It must have been, okay. Of course, yeah. There are times when I wish Zach had been my big brother, or Becky, my older sister. Maybe life would have been a little easier then. Maybe Papa wouldn't be as sick as he is. Maybe. Maybe I wouldn't be alone here. But then again, if he is, if they are what I wish them to be, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met Ash too. Life back home is tough, but for all that, I won't change it for one selfish wish. In this city of 68,000 people, I have people I can depend on. 3 of them, in fact. When you think about it, when you compare their numbers to the odds of finding someone like them amidst the sea of nameless people, I'm lucky. Thanks a lot for today, Zach. You didn't have to, but you did. I can always count on you. Just me? No, Ash and Rebecca. Oh boy, they won't be happy to hear that. I don't mind being the favour, though. Nope, no favours. But you cook better than both of them, so that's a plus. It's always been food with you, isn't it, Ted? Don't put it like that. You can make me sound like a glutton. I'm not saying you are, but it does feel good to know there's someone I can invite for food and they'll be able to eat all of it. Only that. I thought we were also art buddies. Oh, that too. But the food thing really stands out when you think about it. You do eat a lot for someone your size. Low blow. I take pride in my height. So, is it okay now? Do you feel better? Does it still scare you? A little. I'll be okay. I'll figure out somehow. It's not as bad as the other day and Father Norman helps. Too. I should have brought them something to thank him. Oh, we could visit him any time. He loves hearing from the young ones. He isn't that old, is he? Don't know. He doesn't tell. I think I might have seen his face somewhere before. I just couldn't recall when or where. Ash says he looks like his boss or a bartender at the local pub if he squints. Don't take his word for it though, of course. He might have accidentally inhaled something from the forensics lab again. When he said that. Yes, back to the usual. These have been the easiest lately, but it certainly isn't the worst that has happened. We do end up sharing the cinnamon buns between us. Despite Zach's instance, they're only for me, but more than food, there is repose and contentment. Excuse me. If you need anything, just ring, okay? Like when Ash annoys you too much, I'll help you with him, best friend or not. No way, I can take him on. Still, an extra muscle wouldn't hurt, yeah? Just let me know and I'll back you up. My sister knows it's one thing to shut him up when he's been his usual self. Ask me what it is, whatever you want, and I'll spill out. I don't think that's necessary, but thanks, I'll keep that in mind. He leaves me with a smile and a wave. Off to some new gig again. As for me, we still need to talk, Becca, Ash and I. Put petty arguments aside like the adults we all are. This, however, is a start, no matter how small it may be. I just hope I can keep them safe. A light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and the distant smell of earth into the air. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good. I need to stock up my pantry too. Come to think of it, isn't there an art store that has opened recently near the park? Any hallucinations this time? The cat's name is Brothriel, or at least that's what its collar says. It's not named to give the cat, in my opinion, but it speaks grace much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swells his tail and his eyes follow my hands. When did it suddenly come along? Did I miss an event or something? I clicked twice. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I'm not the very good picture of Grace when he found me, after all. It was a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I should have brought these all at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park to the nearest bus stop. And now, I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but back at home, they're considered ill omens. Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to. Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life, of course. Growing up with rowdy younger brothers and a sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's the contrary. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Oh, well, graceful or not, there's no use mopping. A short breather and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite or crosses my path. But where's your owner anyway? Oh, we won't keep pressing that. He has one, doesn't he? An owner. That's what the collar is for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped on one of its paws, but I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away? Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before. A cat, not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could. I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags lying beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one in my mouth, he meows. My hand stops. Do you want one? He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out worryingly. He sniffs at it once, twice, before. Blubbled. Ah, your cat. Like a good, properly trained pet, briefly responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps up in the direction of a voice. McCluff's hardly impossible to miss, was with her height, but mostly especially in the way she carries herself. I'm sorry, did my cat hurt you? No. Miss Santos, wasn't it? I'm surprised to see you here. Nice to meet you again, Miss Clough. Never mind the pleasantries. Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry, Brother was not exactly fond of other people. Even ran away from the veterinaries right now. Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier. My brother is a she. She? All this time I thought, reporting a conversation if this can be called one is uncomfortable. We're merely 2 people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meeting like this doesn't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Save. When's the last time I saved? Well, it's been long. Okay, we're going to pick this up on the next time, folks. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and we shall see each other the next time of the letter. Does this blessing actually remove the curse, or was it just something which is a make-believe? Have a good day and take care of yourselves.